Manager and fighter have been together all the way. Woods was supported financially by Hobson even before he turned pro. Hobson has helped Woods straighten himself out as a person and put a troubled past behind him, and together they have proven a winning combination, so far at least. Well, perhaps Woods' heart skipped a beat when he heard he was fighting Lennox Lewis, and the truth became apparent a little later on. But sometimes the unknown quantities, especially from the Caribbean area, have given us a surprise or two. I'm joined tonight by the former Commonwealth light heavyweight champion, Nicky Piper. You are the real Nicky Piper, aren't you?
I am the real Nicky Piper, that's right, yeah.
What about this man from the Caribbean? Unknown quantity, and sometimes that has been the undoing of a champion.
Well, he is a surprise package, as you say, but what's interesting is all we can go by is his record on paper. He is the current WBA cruiserweight Latin American champion, and he's got a high percentage of knockouts, 7 out of 9, so he's been bowling the big men over. If he catches Clinton Woods, we don't know what could happen tonight. This is exciting.
Has Woods surprised you, the way, Nicky, he's developed as a person and as a fighter, and given us a little bit of consistency of effort?
I must say he has. The first time I ever saw him was when he lost to David Starry for the super middleweight title, and he looked jaded, didn't look a great fighter, but since he moved up to the light heavyweight division, he's done very well. Stopping Crawford Ashley, as I know personally, is a tremendous fight, and he's stopped his last 4 opponents and looking good.
More from Nicky as we go tonight. We start at lightweight with Wayne Rigby. Very important night for him here, and he got great encouragement last Saturday night. We brought you an outstanding performance from Michael Gomez, the new British super featherweight champion.
Michael Gomez is the British super featherweight champion in only the 2nd round.
Well, now Rigby hopes to emulate his near neighbour. He too is from the Failsworth area of Manchester, and Rigby too has had plenty of success, especially early in his career. A win over Tanvir Ahmed brought him the British lightweight title. But that reign was interrupted when he lost to Bobby Vanzi. He still holds the British title. It was a surprise result and a big blow to Rigby's career. But Rigby's on the way back now, and last time out, he reminded us all of what an exciting performer he can be.
Look at this! Just look at this!
So Rigby now 1 fight away from a chance to get himself back among the big names.
He's a good kid. I know he's there to make things awkward for me, but like, no, just keep my wits about me. I'm going to win this. Then Jack, so they talk about, no, I'm in line for the world title, the 22nd of October with McLares. So I've got to make sure I keep my hands up in the box clever. I mean, I want to win. I know if I get beat, it's going to put me back again. I can't afford to lose.
I think he said it all then. Rigby against Temple to get our live action underway at lightweight tonight. He's had to be very patient working his way back. He's almost done it, Rigby. Can't slip up now. Alan Temple, the opponent, has been a test to many of the best at lightweight and light welterweight. For commentary tonight, we have Jim Watt and Adam Smith. After our Master of Ceremonies, John MacDonald.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and welcome to the Hillsborough Leisure Centre here in the beautiful still city of Sheffield for tonight's Commonwealth Championship Boxing, proudly presented by Ringside Promotions in association with Dennis Hobson and Glenn Rhodes, sponsored here by Acclaim Entertainment, and a very warm welcome to our viewers joining us live here on Sky Sports Fight Night. All the officials have been appointed by the Commonwealth Council in association with the British Boxing Board of Control here present with us at ringside. Our supervisor is Dennis Lofton. Our steward in charge is John Hall. Our area secretary is Ron Hackett. So here we go then, sports fans and Sky fans. We're in the lightweight division. Firstly, and introducing to you, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the blue and white trunks. He weighed in at 9 stone, 12 and 3/4 pounds. He's taking part in his 21st professional contest. He comes to the ring as the former 2-time ABA champion. From Hartlepool, and the pride of the North East, Alan Temple. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the black trunks and weighed in at 9 stone, 11 1/4 pounds. He brings a 19-fight record, 15 wins, a 5 by way of knockout, 4 losses. He comes to the ring as the former British lightweight champion from Shannon's Gym in Manchester, Wayne Rigby. Tiging the bell from Halifax is Colin Roberts, and our referee in charge of the action from Ellesmere Port is Keith Garner. This is 8 3-minute rounds.
Well, this is an intriguing match in one of the most interesting domestic divisions, the 9 stone 9 lightweights, who are all jockeying for position underneath European champion Billy Schwer and Commonwealth holder Bobby Vanzy, the man who also ripped the British belt from Manchester's craggy-faced and hardened Wayne Rigby, who here continues on that long road back against Hartlepool's Alan Temple. Rigby in the black, Temple, the slick southpaw, in the blue and white stripes. Rigby simply cannot afford to lose this. He was very fired up at yesterday's weigh-in, but Temple, who may only have won half of his bouts, is a good technical operator and the type that may just give Rigby an extremely difficult night. Just add to the equation that Temple looked cut to perfection on the scales, and he is desperate to resurrect his wavering career. A cagey start. What should the tactics be, Jim?
Well, I would imagine Rigby is the one fancied to get his career back on track again. He has to pressurise Temple. Temple, a very smooth operator. Temple, one of these guys whose record doesn't really reflect his abilities and his talent. But unfortunately, any time he's faced the top boys, he's come off second. But you can't allow him to box at his own pace. He's very slick, very clever. So sooner or later, Rigby's going to have to start pressurising him, draw him into a little bit of a war.
Alan Temple, very erratic. He's won 10 and lost 10. And if you go back to the spring of 1992, when they were both 18-year-olds, Rigby lost his professional debut in a 6x2s, and Alan Temple was the ABA featherweight champion and an England amateur international. Yet it's Rigby who is looking to regain his British lightweight title, and Temple desperate for any win he can get. Has won 3 of the last 6, Temple. But he told me last night he's still got British title ambitions. Boxing News, the trade paper, rates Rigby at 7 and Temple at 11. It could be close.
Rigby rushing in a little bit. He's going to have to think what he's doing, lunging in, trying to lead with a hook, and he hasn't found the range yet. He wants to get his jab working before he starts thinking about hooks. Some nice defensive boxing in the first round from Temple.
Yes, he switched southpaw. I noticed Rigby there. Got to get to grips with Temple. They haven't met before. Out of Bob Shannon's gym, with a comeback trail against Alan Temple. Not the best first round for Rigby.
Seconds out, round 2.
Second of 8 in the lightweight division. Alan Temple there on the left of your screens, the awkward southpaw. Doesn't carry a lot of power, but he's very neat and organised. And the blue and white stripes. Wayne Rigby, the rugged aggressor, likes working the body in the black, fitness fanatic. Very likeable chap, Wayne Rigby. Underneath that rough-looking exterior is a charming man who fought back from family problems and financial ruin to win the British title, only to lose it in the very same year to Bobby Vanzy. He told me his friends deserted him when he lost that belt. Mentally, he needs to readdress. This is crucial for him.
Well, it's only early days, but at the moment the pace suits Temple. Temple, slick boxer, he's just picking Rigby off, so not with clean shots, but they were landing on the forehead then. But as I say, this pace suits him. Rigby really has to raise the pace, really has to break Temple's rhythm.
Looks like small swellings to Wayne Rigby's eyes, just underneath both, but he does mark up very easily, so don't be too put off by that. Temple just using his skills better.
Yep, and Rigby's giving him the time to do just that. Rigby has to hot things up a little bit.
He is back at his natural weight, Alan Temple. He did go up to light welter, where he was badly stopped by Eamon McGee in Belfast a while back in 3 rounds, but he said McGee was 10-11 and he was 10-3, and that just wasn't fair, but he took it for the payday. This is his division. Brilliant amateur, Temple. 2-time ABA champion, just hasn't converted to the professional game. You can see he's well schooled though, Jim.
Yep, he really has been boxing so well in the first couple of rounds. As I said earlier, the pace suits him. Rigby's style suits him. Rigby hasn't done anything clever whatsoever so far. He's still trying to find the range, but he's doing everything at a half-speed pace, so he has to move up a gear. You don't really want... Oh, that's a lovely body shot. Now that could be the big problem tonight.
Lovely left hand to the body. The bell goes. The count continues, and Alan Temple goes back to his corner, but after a tricky start from Wayne Rigby, he found that left to the body. Beautiful shot.
Yep. Well, Temple well on his way, and McCarthy picking up the round, and then one punch has turned it all around. They dropped him on the deck and swung the point scoring completely the other way. As you know, we score big on knockdowns. It was a lovely punch. But that is really what Rigby has to do. He has to get close, use his strength, use his ruggedness and his power. And that's the first real good body shot he's thrown, and look at the result. Bang, behind the elbow, no muscle there to take the power of the punch. Bang onto the rib cage, and took all the wind out of Alan's sails.
The 13th time Temple has been floored in his career, but he often gets up to win or take it the distance. Third round between Wayne Rigby from Manchester and Alan Temple from Hartlepool. Rigby in black, Temple in the blue and white stripes. Temple hurt down in the second round, having made a very nice, skillful start. Rigby caught up with him with a left to the body, and how he loves those body shots, Wayne Rigby. Models himself on Marvin Hagler in the gym, writes the name of his opponent on his gloves and on the walls of his house. Totally dedicated, Wayne Rigby. Alan Temple was floored in his very first contest to Steve Lightning Bolt back in '94, and he got up to stop Bolt in the second.
That's the thing with Temple, Adam. He's been on the floor several times, as you mentioned, and it doesn't really change his plan any. Some kids panic, never been there before, start thinking their world is caving in, but he copes with it back. It's only one round behind him that gets on with the job, and that's what he's doing here.
Do you think, though, that the bell came at just the right time?
Yeah, because it didn't look as though if the box-on instruction had been given, I don't think he had the breath to finish the round. If there had been half a minute or so, I think Rigby could have forced a stoppage. But that's behind us now. He's got himself back into it again. Still Rigby struggling to find the range.
And that eye swelling up just underneath the eye, the upper cheekbone of Wayne Rigby.
He has very prominent cheekbones. He's being picked off as he comes forward. See, he's just almost coming into punching range and stopping, and Temple's picking him off. Temple, a far smarter boxer. Rigby has to raise the pace, get this fellow under pressure.
He may be a little rusty, Wayne Rigby. He did have a bad shoulder injury, which kept him out for a few months, and he came back with a war with Mark McGowan, one of Chris Sanagar's young fighters, in July. A real tear-up. Rigby said he doesn't want too many more of those. He wants to use his boxing skills. But Temple has got plenty of those.
We're back into that little routine again that suits Temple. The pace has dropped. He's getting a chance to pick Rigby off. Rigby just coming into punching range but not getting his punches off quick enough and picked off.
Yes, he's done well, Alan Temple, to come back. Well, there's the left body shot again from Rigby. A little wince from Temple, but he held it this time. Welcome back to Sheffield. Lightweight contest, interesting here. And the rankings. Jim Watt, what do you think? There's some good names there, aren't there? Billy Schwer at the top.
Yeah, but I don't see anybody below Rigby who you say maybe should be above him. So that's about fair. Rigby number 6. Yeah, there's some decent talent in that division.
4th round. And Wayne Rigby looking to get up amongst those top lightweights. Stephen Smith and Bobby Van Zee due to meet later on in the year. They've both got warm-up fights on Monday. And Billy Schwer waiting for that world title chance against the brilliant Stevie Johnston in the WBC division. Rigby trying to rebuild. He had that knockdown in the 2nd round, but Temple has gone back to his boxing and looks comfortable doing that.
Rigby seems stuck in 2nd gear, I'm afraid. He doesn't seem able to raise the pace. Look, he's got very prominent cheekbones, and you can see the amount of jabs that he's taken because they're both looking really swollen. He's going for the body shots now, but Temple sees them coming.
Yes, he covered up nicely there, Alan Temple. Rigby going for the shots he knows will do damage. But he's got to get close enough. And Temple was a well-schooled amateur when he turned professional. A lot of fuss was made about him. Could have become a Billy Schwer. Frank Maloney thought big things, but he lost a couple of early fights. Nice right hand in there. And Rigby looks a little confused by this style.
He's been outboxed, Adam, yeah, and the problem is he only seems half at it himself. He's not prepared to move up the gears and get this fellow under pressure. If you allow someone with the talent of Alan Temple to work at his own pace, he'll enjoy outboxing. You really have to shut him down, put him under pressure. Rigby is the one with the strength and the punching power, but he's not been using those.
You see the strength there. He forced Temple back from a jab. There's a slight nick on his nose, Rigby.
This is as good as I've seen Alan Temple box. I've seen him putting up good shows and then suddenly just crumbling. But no signs of him crumbling apart from that one shot knockdown in the 2nd round and a terrific body shot. He really has looked very comfortable tonight.
Yes, Temple boxing well. He boxed brilliantly against Billy Schwer despite losing in 8 rounds in October '96. Normally when he stepped up to that big level, he's been beaten in a final eliminator to Tanvir Ahmed, who Rigby won the title off. And he lost in 3 to Van Zee and 2 to Michael Ayres.
He's boxing so well, he's using his feet as Rigby comes forward, not really putting his heart and soul into what he's doing. He's picking him off, stepping back, picking him off. Lovely boxing.
Lots more live football for you tomorrow. 4 games in all. We start at 12 noon. Sky Sports 2, Cheltenham against Shrewsbury. Sky Sports 1 at 3, Bradford against Spurs. At 6, Kilmarnock against Celtic. And on Sky Sports Extra at 6, Atletico Madrid against Celta Vigo. And if you're watching on Sky Digital, interactive coverage of the games at Cheltenham and Bradford, also available on Sky Sports Extra.
5th round, Wayne Rigby in the black shorts from Manchester, Alan Temple in the blue and white from Hartlepool. And Rigby knows he can hurt Temple. He had him down in the second, but Temple has been boxing very well. As Jim says, probably the best we've seen from him.
Yeah, definitely. And for me, Rigby's really struggling tonight. The only round I've given him was the round of the knockdown. And I didn't score that 10-8 because I thought he was losing that until the final punch of the round dropped Temple. So I've just scored that 10-9 in his favour. So on my card, he's struggling. And in the ring, he also seems to be struggling.
But Rigby likes the sort of middle rounds where he can get on top of a fighter that's slightly weakened and apply his pressure. Again, turns southpaw, something I haven't seen from Wayne Rigby before, have you?
No, I haven't seen that, and I think maybe he's just trying to come up with something different because what he's been doing is not working. But a fighter like Rigby, he should be using the first 4 rounds, even if he's not winning them, to take steam out of the other guy, pressurise him, make him work, and then he starts leaning on him in the last half of the fight. But the first 4 rounds, he's allowed Temple to do exactly as he please, work as he please, and in my card, notch up a little healthy lead.
Yes, Wayne Rigby needs to come up with something a little different. He could have a shot at Michael Ayres next month. Maybe he's looking a little bit too far ahead. He's got a difficult job in front of him. Alan Temple, but a nice right hand, and Temple was shaken briefly, but took it well again. He can hurt him.
Yeah, well, I think in a different fight, that punch might have knocked Temple over. But I think he's really up tonight. He knows he's doing well. He knows he's great chances here of victory. And sometimes punches that would normally put you on the deck, when you're up and the adrenaline's flowing, you take the shot, because that was a lovely punch he took, and he took it bang on.
Yes, he's become the opponent, Alan Temple, but he could turn that around here. It will be a big win for him if he could take even a decision over Wayne Rigby.
Rigby getting a little bit closer now. His work is still very, very scrappy and untidy, but he's getting closer to Temple. Not making it pay, but getting closer. Still picked off again.
Out of range again, Wayne Rigby. Temple doing some nice work. Encouragement from his corner. They've stuck by him, George Bowes and Peter Cope from Hartlepool, when he had bad times, Alan Temple. Welcome back to Wayne Rigby against Alan Temple at lightweight. Rigby having some success. Jim?
Yeah, that was a lovely right-hand punch, and as I said at the time, I think Temple has gone on the floor to punches not as good as that, but he's up here, really fancies the job, and I still had him winning that round. Nice little spell for Rigby in the middle, but I thought over the 3 minutes Temple's work was better.
More success for Alan Temple on the punch stats and on Jim's scorecard. Temple in the blue and white, Rigby in the black. From Manchester, Rigby trying to revive his career that fell apart with a 10th round stoppage last year against Bradford's slippery Bobby Vanzy. This slippery Alan Temple has been giving him the same sort of problems. He just cannot get to grips with Temple's style.
Rigby has the look of a boxer who maybe hasn't had enough sparring or hasn't had the right sparring. Just lacks sharpness, and everything about him is kind of sluggish. He can't get into punching range without getting hit. His technique seems to be letting him down, and he's not prepared just to sail in the way he has done in other fights and just throw caution to the wind and have a real punch up. He's not even been prepared to do that. Temple still being allowed to box at his own pace, and really boxing so well.
More markings to the nose of Wayne Rigby. It has not been an easy night for him. Both fighters were so fired up at the weigh-in. Rigby saying he cannot afford to lose this. But he's trained too hard and too long.
Well, I don't doubt he's trained hard, but I just wonder, has the sparring been sufficient? Has it been the right kind of sparring? Because his timing's off, technique's gone, and he just seems to be lost. He just can't seem to get started. Missing with so many punches. Reflexes are not what they should be. He's just kind of lost his way, and the longer this fight's going, no improvement in Rigby's work.
His friend Michael Gomez, who took the British super featherweight title last week, and Rigby was so happy, and he said it's going to spur him on tonight. He just doesn't seem to have been able to settle at all. Goes back to the body where he hurt Temple in the second round. Can he get to him again?
I mean, Temple virtually unmarked, Adam. There's not a mark on his face. Look at Rigby, he's been taking everything as he comes forward. Just...
Remind you of the Vanzi fight?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I don't want to keep saying that, you know, Rigby's boxing badly. We have to give Temple a lot of credit. He's boxed so well. The timing's been good, the technique's been good. He's taken a couple of full-blooded shots, but taking them to come back.
Good work from Alan Temple. And backstage, there's Clinton Woods, the Commonwealth light heavyweight champion, about to make the second defence of his title against Lennox Lewis, and he doesn't think it will be an easy night.
I think first few rounds might be a bit tough. It looks like he's very fit and looks like he's in shape. He's going to come banging at me, but I think after about 6-7 rounds, I think I'll end up stopping him.
So there's Clinton Woods, ready to make the first appearance of a long time in front of his Sheffield crowd. That's coming up shortly. Back at ringside, an interesting lightweight battle. Wayne Rigby and Alan Temple. Have a look at the punches landed. Look at the total from Temple, Jim.
Yeah, and that's reflected in my scorecard. I really feel that Wayne Rigby has not even got started tonight, apart from a beautiful left hook to the body in the second round, where he's dropped Temple. I've given virtually every other, I think actually I've given every other round to Temple, boxing so well.
Rigby has to come up with something different. That's the way you've got it. 4 rounds up to Alan Temple, the erratic southpaw from Hartlepool, who is putting up one of his best displays in his 5-year career. Terrific amateur, and it seems that's what he's done tonight, just used his technical skills and kept out the way of Rigby's power.
But Rigby hasn't even shown any tremendous power, apart from the knockdown punch, a couple of decent right hands, which should have rocked Temple but didn't. But I think his timing's off, and you don't generate the power if the timing's not there.
Still looking for that left to the body though, Wayne Rigby. How does he get to Temple?
Well, he's trying to box his way in, but his timing and his technique are letting him down. He has to get close to be effective, so he just has to march straight in right through what Temple's doing and let the punches go. But he doesn't seem to have the desire to do that tonight. He still wants to do it the smart way, still trying to pick his way in with little prodding jabs, just trying to nudge close. He can't do it. It hasn't worked so far. We're in round 7. He has to march forward and just let with all guns blazing, just let the punches flow, but no signs that he can manage that.
He's had such a strange career, Wayne Rigby. Looked nothing at the beginning, took some time out, came back, put together some wins, beat Tanvir Ahmed for the British title, defended against Matt Brown, sent him into retirement, lost to Vanzi, so maybe that was a big defeat. Maybe it's taken something out of him. Alan Temple is just looking to capitalise on that and look after his own future, which he can keep alive with a win here in Sheffield tonight.
I don't quite know what's wrong with Rigby. I mean, If it's a ring rust, they would have worked that off by now. It's like a kind of staleness about his movement. He's no idea what he wants to try and do. There's no real purpose in any of attacks. He's just going through the motions, always that little bit out of range of for his own work had been picked off by Temple, who's boxing beautifully.
Yes, maybe reminiscent of another old Sheffield fighter, Harold Graham. Just lovely, taking his time.
Yeah, but not as unorthodox. I mean, what he's doing is textbook stuff. You can't think of a reason why Rigby can't get close. I mean, he's not running, he's not boxing negatively, he's not thinking about defence. He's just putting up a beautiful boxing display, staying in range, but his work is so much sharper, so much better than Rigby's.
The bell to end the 7th round, and another one to Alan Temple, who is fighting the fight of his life here. Does Rigby have to stop him?
Yeah, well, on my card, definitely, yes. Probably has to stop him twice on my card, I think, because I have him so far behind. But he's done nothing right tonight. I don't know if the referee's seeing this the same way I'm seeing it, but I'll be very surprised if you can have a little... Well, there you go. But it's the fact that Rigby's work has been so poor from the first round right up to now. He's only seemed half at it. His attitude's not right. It's as though he's got something in his mind and he just can't get his mind on the job, whereas Temple the exact opposite.
I wonder if Wayne Rigby has been looking too far ahead. He was told last night at the weigh-in that he was going to get a world title shot against Michael Ayres if he won this, but he has to win it, and on your scorecard he's 5 rounds down. Final round of 8 at lightweight. Crucial for Wayne Rigby to throw everything at Alan Temple and try and stop the man from Hartlepool, who has boxed a sensible fight and is looking to cause quite a big upset here.
See, Temple has never been under any real pressure. Rigby's tried to come forward, he's tried to land punches from long range, but nothing that he's done has really seriously troubled Temple, apart from the punch that caused the knockdown. And when Rigby misses with a left-hand lead, he's all over the place. There's nothing sharp about what he's doing. When he makes a mistake, he's punished for every mistake because he's lacking sharpness. He can't recover from his mistakes.
I mean, many people have called Temple a fancy Dan. He lost a decision to Jason Rowland and David Burke at super featherweight. Do you think this has finally a good professional showing from Temple?
Of course, yeah. I mean, he's always had the talent, and he's only lost it to the best guys, remember. His chin has let him down a couple of times. Sometimes he's not maybe as strong as you would like a fighter to be. But technique-wise and talent-wise, definitely top drawer, and Wayne Rigby has allowed him to use his technique and his talent, never pressurise him, let him work at his own pace, and he's produced some lovely boxing. Always, even these little exchanges, the punches are not too hard, but he always has the last word.
Rigby really has struggled here through the 8 rounds. He did knock Temple down in the 2nd round, and if the bell hadn't saved the man from Hartlepool, who knows what would have happened, but it did. And the last few rounds, as Jim has rightly said, have been vintage Alan Temple. Remember, he's won 10 and lost 10, Temple, and Rigby has won 15 of his 19 and was expected to win this clearly, if not stop Temple, to go on to bigger and better things. But it could be Temple that has the chance now to go on to fight for even a British title.
And in the last round, would you think Rigby would give it all he has? He doesn't have anything. He's still been outboxed, and the Temple just putting the clincher on an excellent display on my card. He's doing exactly as he's done all the way along. If you just walked in here this moment and didn't know who was in the ring, you would think Temple was already a champion. Really, championship form he's showing tonight.
Seems fresher as well, even at the end of 8. There was a performance by Noel Wilders a few weeks ago against A.D. Lewis, which was a bit like that. Lewis just couldn't get into the fight, and that's what's happened here with Rigby.
That's exactly right. See, everything's flowing from Temple. He's not forced anything, and won on my card by a mile.
A fantastic win for Alan Temple from Hartlepool. He's tipped the balance in favour. 11 wins against 10 defeats, and a nightmare for Wayne Rigby from Manchester, who was hoping for a world title fight. A terrible, terrible disappointment for Rigby, but he just couldn't get going. And Alan Temple, the stylish fighter from Hartlepool, who has never fully found his professional mark, has tonight. Look at that success rate, shots landed. Jim.
Remember, Adam, Steve Robinson a few years ago didn't win too many fights on the way up. Suddenly, overnight, he seemed to become a world-class fighter. And look at the career he had. I'm not comparing Alan Temple, but he certainly has as much talent as Steve Robinson. And who knows, maybe a win like this could really turn his career around.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, referee Keith Garner has scored the contest. For Rigby, 74 points. For Temple, 78 points. Your winner, the pride of the North East from Hartlepool, Alan Temple. And please show your appreciation for a very game boxer indeed, the former British lightweight champion, Wayne Rigby.
Rule one in boxing, never take anything for granted. Never look beyond the job in front of you. A lesson, if he hears about this result in the arena, that Clinton Woods backstage would do well to remember. Woods next tonight in our top of the bill. Big night for him, defending his Commonwealth light heavyweight title. Woods against Lewis coming up shortly. Well, what an upset we've had tonight in our first live fight. It was all looking so good again for Wayne Rigby, but Rigby is a loser and Alan Temple is a winner, and he is with Adam Smith.
Alan, congratulations. If you'd lost tonight, you would have become a journeyman. You've won. It's revived your career.
Yeah, thanks very much. But like I say, if we'd have got beat tonight, we'd have come back. I'm no journeyman. I've took them all on, the best ones, the light welterweights, the welters, in McGee. We've done it the hard way from the north, but we've come strong back now.
Bar the knockdown, he couldn't get near you, could he?
No, that was the idea. Wayne is a very, very good close water fighter, and he's very strong. He hit me quite a few times with a body shot, but I kept my composure, listened to me cornermen, and done the job.
What's the plan now? I mean, Rigby was going to maybe fight Michael Ayres, or there's Bobby Vanzie and Stephen Smith. Where are you looking at now, Alan?
I don't know. 2 weeks ago today, I was in Tenerife. You know, and I wasn't fit. I got 10 days' notice for this contest. I mean, I'm not one for telling porkies, but I got 10 days' notice for this fight. I hadn't trained 3 weeks before this contest, and with the help of Gus and me trainer George and Peter Cope, we done the job.
You can become British champion, you think, still?
Most certainly. Look how Bobby Vanzie, we come again.
Well done tonight, Alan.
Thanks very much.
Maybe that's the secret of this fellow. Don't tell him anything about what's ahead. Just keep it very simple. You're fighting on Saturday week, but we'll let you know later who you're fighting against. It worked for him on this occasion. Was that just the night that everything fell into place for Temple? A one-off, or is this the start of something big?
I don't think it's a one-off, but I also don't think it's the start of something big. I think his record is proven now. Against certain people, he does fall apart, and he has proved fragile in the past. But we've seen tonight what a great, great boxer he was, and Jim was quite right. He boxed beautifully against a man who was short on ideas, just walked forward and fought with his face. And if you don't need a scorecard there, you need a mirror. You can see quite clearly Wayne Rigby was the loser.
Word is that Rigby was thinking about this fight against Michael Ayres, supposedly to be set up later in the year. Did that deflect his attention from the job at hand?
I don't think so. He didn't seem to have his mind on the job tonight, I must say. There was just, his concentration wasn't there. He was walking forward. He had no idea. And Alan Temple has been a top amateur for many years, or was a top amateur, a superb England international, and would eat up guys like that every night if he could. Wayne Rigby played into his hands.
So one upset. Clinton Woods hopes to avoid a similar fate in our top of the bill here tonight in Sheffield in just a moment or two. First, a reminder of what we have for you next Saturday night. It is not to be missed.
This fight here with Tito Trinidad will be a defining moment to move on to the next level I want to go to. So I have to overcome this tough obstacle that I'll be facing, but I know I can do it.
Esta pelea El mundo entero la quiere ver y para mí.
The whole world will be watching this fight, and I'm very honored that I will be fighting Oscar de la Hoya. I believe the world of boxing has yet to see a fight like this. It's been a long anticipated fight for many years now, and people will be talking about this one for years to come.
He's right about that. A very special Sky Digital event for you next week. We have 3 world title fights in all from Las Vegas. Saturday, September the 18th, the top of the bill, the young superstar De La Hoya against the big punching Trinidad, the welterweight unification match we've been waiting for. There's also Britain's Johnny Nelson in action in Las Vegas, defending his WBO cruiserweight title against Sione Asipeli. And we have the IBF World Cruiserweight title fight, Vasily Zhirov against Dale Brown. It's all a special Sky Digital event. Live coverage from Las Vegas starting at 12 midnight, September the 18th. And we'll also have 2 Sunday showings at 9 a.m. and again 8:30 p.m. all on Sky Sports Extra. That's channel 404, a new service offering interactive football coverage. And of course, it's free to all Sky Sports subscribers. And so to our top of the bill here in Sheffield as the atmosphere begins to pick up behind me, Clinton Woods, with it all going in his favour here tonight. Home advantage, good run of form, and lots of friendly faces around.
He's looking after house, isn't it?
Clinton is one of 7 brothers and sisters in all, plus assorted younger members of a large extended family, and on the day of the fight, there was time for a get-together in a pub in Waterthorpe, across Sheffield from here at Hillsborough.
What's that name on this? So you're okay?
So the Woods clan, all vowing to be here tonight with one exception, Woods' mother Andrea, who has never been to see him fight. Ironically, it was Andrea who wrote to Clinton to urge him to get back to boxing when he turned into a teenage tearaway.
I'm writing this letter to you in 5 o'clock in the morning, and I have been awake all night. And then it just goes on that she's fed up of seeing my face full of bruises and black eyes. Please change, son, before you break my heart. Don't put on the hard man all the time. I love you, mother.
I'd like to go, but I won't watch it, have my eyes closed. So, you know what I mean? But
Don't mention my newborn.
I have gut sake. You know when you've all gone, that's when it'll start. Get stomach-ache and it's horrible.
So even though he's boxing in Sheffield, you're still going to stay here and watch it on your own?
No, I won't watch it, no. I don't even like watching video after. So,
Phone call, don't you, from your dad?
yeah, and I only like Keith to phone me up, but not like anybody else to phone me up and tell me results. It's awful for mothers. I don't know how other boxers' mothers go on.
So here they come. Let's try and count them. I think they probably need a minibus or 2. Everybody here, bar the mum. She waits by the phone when the boy fights. The girlfriend's here. That's Natalia, I'm told. And various sundry members of the Woods family and friends. Quite a fan club. He has to put all that to the back of his mind, though, of course, because this is about business for Clinton Woods. Now, Nicky Piper, I just wonder whether sometimes home advantage can be to the detriment of a fighter, because in the first place, maybe his concentration gets deflected in the build-up. Some of those scenes today may suggest that. We've seen it on other nights. Secondly, is he thinking too hard about impressing the fans who've come to see him?
There's all that. Of course, if you try too hard, you try to impress too much, yeah, that affects your performance. Also, sometimes you worry about your loved ones in the crowd and how they're feeling. His girlfriend...
Does that actually happen?
I think so. I think you worry that they're worrying, and you don't worry about yourself when you're fighting. That's not something to worry about at all. But I think, on the whole, fighting at home is a big, big help. You know, you come from your home, you're comfortable, short journey drive to the arena, none of this hotels. You're very much on the weight and everything's good.
What has impressed you about Clinton Woods over the last couple of years?
I think his fitness. I think he's very good over the distance, and he may need that tonight. His all-round boxing skills, he's not a flash boxer. He's got a fair punch, and he's matured over the last 2 or 3 years especially.
So this is Lennox Lewis in the other corner. I'm loving saying that tonight. This is a 31-year-old Lennox Lewis. Only 10 professional fights, Nicky, but he didn't turn professional until past his 28th birthday. So he's actually been making quite rapid strides recently.
And quite a good amateur too, and a high percentage of knockouts as an amateur. So we don't know much about this guy. We've never seen him. On paper, though, it could well be a very exciting fight. One of his victims, by the way, another touch of irony, is Richard Woodall. Not our Richard Woodall, but he knocked Richie Woodall out in the third round.
Now, I've managed to stay with the story until Sheffield then, but now finally you have lost me. To sum it up for you, Woods is a big favourite here?
I think so. He should come through. If I was looking at it on paper, he'd come through late and win by wearing his man down in the later rounds. But Lewis has been 10 rounds 3 times, won all fights, can punch, anything can happen.
Thank you, Nicky. And already tonight, don't forget, we've had one big upset. So the Woods family, that's his dad, I'm told, also part of this fan club tonight. Everybody here, bar the mother. Maybe she's watching. She's sitting by the phone, certainly waiting for news. And the Woods family, the whole of Sheffield, and indeed British boxing, are waiting for good news from Clinton Woods tonight. Next. More live football on Sky Sports next Tuesday and Thursday. Hull City against Liverpool in the Worthington Cup, Sky Sports 2 on Tuesday. And on Thursday, special coverage of the UEFA Cup on Sky Digital only. The first round games involving Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham, live only on Sky Sports News. Tonight here in Sheffield, it's the Commonwealth light heavyweight title. Clinton Woods on home territory defending against an unknown quantity, Lennox Lewis from Trinidad and Tobago. Jim Watt and Adam Smith are our commentary team tonight, and our Master of Ceremonies, John MacDonald.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the fight of the night. Please welcome to the ring now, the challenger from Trinidad and Tobago, Lennox Lewis.
Yes, that is the name on his passport. He won't be earning $9 million for his trouble. He won't leave the ring as unified heavyweight champion, but he could take home a light heavyweight belt, this Lennox Lewis Mark II. But will he be just that, a poor excuse for his namesake, or a dangerous fighter that could shock? It's a mystery. He says he's better than our version of Lennox Lewis, but he says rather a lot. He believes Jesus Christ has sent him over here to enter a pit of hell and emerge a victorious warrior. Speaks like Holyfield, Jim, but looking at him, what will Clinton Woods be expecting?
Well, Clinton's is a very thoughtful boxer, a very careful boxer. He certainly won't do anything silly in the first couple of rounds. He'll have a good look at this fellow. One of the little things that worries me about Clinton's a very tall, upright boxer sometimes. His chin's a little bit high. And if this fellow has the swarming, all-action style that people from that side of the pond have, and Clinton hasn't faced anyone from that side of the pond, then it could give him a few problems early. So I hope he's as careful as we expect him to be.
Pleased they are to see him. The official homecoming for the unheralded Sheffield champion. He's won British, Commonwealth, even European crowns. But I've asked people around here, and all the talk is of Nassim Hamed, Harold Graham and Johnny Nelson. This is Woods' chance to show the Steel City what he's made of. After years of skullduggery, alcohol abuse and violence, he has found a way out through boxing and unleashed something of a talent. Tall, awkward and strong, he's now top of the light heavyweight pile, and this could be his boxing season. Jim, how highly do you rate Woods?
Well, I always rated him as a tough opponent, a very knowledgeable boxer, and you used the word awkward a little minute ago. Sometimes that can be a little bit insulting because he's better than awkward. I mean, he's found himself a style and he's perfected that style. Sound chin, sound technique, no weaknesses whatsoever apart from maybe carrying his chin too high sometimes. But my opinion is high of him, and it seems to be getting higher all the time.
So the tale of the tape for this Commonwealth light heavyweight title. Woods, the much bigger man, 6'2", Lewis 5'9.5". Woods with a weight advantage and the reach advantage. Everything points to a Woods win, but we don't know about this Lennox Lewis. Lewis didn't make his debut until 1996. Rounds box, Woods far more. But Lewis, look at that knockout percentage, 70%. He could be very, very powerful. British, Commonwealth and European belts, property of Clinton Woods.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, it's the fight of the night, the main event. Ringside Promotions, in association with Dennis Hobson and Glen Rose, proudly present the Commonwealth Light Heavyweight Championship, sponsored here by Acclaim Entertainment, and a very warm welcome to our viewers joining us live here on Sky Sports Saturday Fight Night. All the officials have been appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control and the Commonwealth Council. Our supervisor at ringside, Dennis Lopton. Our timekeeper from Sheffield is Barry Pinder. And the referee in charge of the action, and the world's leading referee from Wellingborough, John Keane. They are the officials, and here are the contestants. Firstly, and introducing to you the challenger. He's fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the purple trunks trimmed with gold. He weighed in at 12 stone 3 3/4 pounds. He brings a 10-fight record, 9 wins, 7 by knockout, and only 1 defeat. He comes to the ring as the WBA Latin American Light Heavyweight Champion from the exotic Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago, where he is known as the John Lennox Lewis.
Jesus Christ is dead!
And across the ring, the champion. He's wearing the black trunks trimmed with red. He weighed in at 12 stone and 6 pounds and brings a 24-fight record, 23 wins, 13 by way of knockout, and only 1 defeat. He comes to the ring as the current European, British and Commonwealth Light Heavyweight Champion from the Steel City of Sheffield, Clinton. For the Commonwealth Light Heavyweight Championship.
Final instructions. Clinton Woods on the left of your screen. Lennox Lewis, the unknown man from Trinidad and Tobago. Woods surely must be careful because in his first Commonwealth defence he faced a very similar short, stocky New Zealand-based Samoan Sam Louis, who tore up the script to leave Woods teetering on defeat in that 4th round. He got through it, but Jim, he must be easy come, easy go for Clinton tonight.
Yeah, he just wants to have a look at this fellow. I mean, as we can see, a fast starter. He talks fast, he lives fast, he seems hyperactive, so I'm sure he will have a fast style. But Clinton doesn't want to alter his style to suit any opponent. He's adapted this perfect style he has. He's got it down to a fine art, so he just wants to try and impose his style on the other guy. Just take his time and use his excellent jab.
Clinton Wood in the black and red. Lennox Lewis in the purple and gold. He stumbled there, Lewis. He talked a very good game at the weigh-in, this Lennox Lewis. Now the reality is in front of him, the much bigger Clinton Woods.
He looks fairly long-armed, Lewis. He also leans forward from the waist, which is going to give him a bit more range in his punches. So Clinton just wants to be careful of that. Oh, lovely left hook, lovely left hook.
First success for Woods.
You know, sometimes you can feel you're out of range, but the punches land because of the length of his arms and the way he leans forward. A little bit disjointed, the first few attacks we've seen from Lewis.
Another left hand from Clinton Woods. And Lennox Lewis is realising that this may well be the deepest he's been in yet. He does hold the WBA Latin American Cruiserweight title. He's a natural cruiserweight, but only weighed 12.3 3/4 at the weigh-in to Woods' 12.6. Woods has stopped his last 4 opponents.
Woods' defence is very good so far in the first round, so he's boxing himself in nicely. No silly mistakes, no bravado to try and please his own fans, just a good professional opening to this fight. Good sharp opening.
This crouch style of Lennox Lewis, rather unusual. Woods has to punch down, but he eventually caught up with Sam Louis, his last opponent, who he stopped in 6. Looks strong, doesn't he?
He does, yeah, but Woods is controlling it. He's not been pushed back. He's had his fair share of controlling the centre of the ring, which is good news, because if Woods can back this fellow up, he'll probably take half his arsenal away from him. This fellow, to be effective, has to come forward, I would say, from what I've seen already.
All the physical advantages, though, for Clinton Woods. Welcome back to Clinton Woods' corner here in the defence of his Commonwealth crown. Good start, Jim.
Excellent start. Not a single mistake, hardly a punch taken. Had a good look at Lewis, saw what he's about, a rough idea already of what his style is. I think he's strong, powerful, and maybe a little bit limited, but you can't take chances. Looks very strong, his upper chest, bit of power there, I would say.
Second round. Lennox Lewis a bit slow to come out of his corner in the purple and gold from Trinidad and Tobago. Clinton Woods on the right of your screens in the black and red from here in Sheffield. And Lewis piling in. Encouragement from his corner. Fitzroy Richards, trainer, and Poxy Potts, who've come over with him from Trinidad. He has knocked out 7 of his 9 wins. Lennox Lewis only lost 1, and that was a decision when he was a novice. What does Woods have to do here?
Just exactly as he's doing, keep his concentration right. When Lewis mounts an attack, he doesn't seem capable of sustaining it. He puts a lot of strength and power and effort into his punching. His punches don't flow, so he's using up a lot of energy throwing these punches. So he throws half a dozen, then stands back, gets his breath back, and admires what he's done. So that's the time Woods just wants to cover up, catch the attacks in his hands, then get behind his jab and start to get the top of this fella. But just don't take any chances.
He became triple champion, British, European and Commonwealth when he stopped Crawford Ashley. The towel went in from the Ashley corner after 8 rounds back in March in Manchester. Terrific win that for Clinton Woods.
There's a bit of danger with that right hand, Adam. He hasn't got it home yet, but he's just missed Woods' whisker a couple of times. He gets a good length on the punch, as I say, the way he leans in with it. Just he hasn't had the accuracy yet, but there's a bit of danger there.
Woods was saying that he is working on keeping his left glove up. He was nailed a few times by Sam Louis. Referee Richie Davis that night said he was very close to stopping it, inflicting Woods' second defeat. It didn't happen. But what you're saying is be careful.
Yeah, I would rather think about keeping my chin down than my left hand up. You don't want to be thinking about your hand solely on a defensive slant. You get the chin down, then if a punch comes your way which you can't block, your chin will go further down and you'll take the punch on the top of the head. It's when you start with your chin high and a punch comes, you lean away from the punch and take the full blast of it. But he's doing fine at the moment. But this fellow, a couple of danger signs.
Yes, the odd right hand getting in from Lennox Lewis, but he doesn't seem very comfortable yet with Woods' awkward style.
Nothing smooth in what Lewis does, but a little bit of danger.
Fitzroy Richards there in Lennox Lewis's corner, calls himself the best trainer in Trinidad and Tobago. And there's Clinton Woods.
Yeah, well, his defence is penetrated a couple of times in that round. It wasn't a bad round, a fairly even round, I thought, but a few signs that this other fella could be dangerous. Third
round. How good is this other Lennox Lewis? We still don't really know. He's in the purple and gold, giving away height, reach to Clinton Woods, who defends his Commonwealth title here in front of his Sheffield crowd. Lewis coming forward.
That was lovely composed boxing there. Under a little bit of pressure, but he just took the play away from Lewis. A couple of lovely shots.
And there's a nick on the right cheek of Lennox Lewis from that smart combination from Woods. His boxing skills may be the telling factor in this fight. I mean, he has all the advantages.
Yes, and we've just seen another sign that Lewis doesn't seem capable of sustaining attacks. His attacks are a little bit disjointed. He lets a few punches go. If he doesn't have success, then he goes back into a shell for a little while. So there won't be constant pressure for Woods to cope with tonight. That's good news, because he likes to work at his own pace.
No knockdown, but more blood from the cheek of Lennox Lewis, who's been switching orthodox and southpaw. Very, very religious man, Lewis. Says he's been praying the last 2 weeks every day to beat Clinton Woods and take the belt home to his daughter's jail and faith in Trinidad. But he's got to do it. Woods did win the first few rounds against Sam Louis, and then came that nightmare fall. Has he got to be careful still?
Yeah, of course, but I think what he's going to need here with this fellow is to make sure he keeps a little bit in reserve for the later rounds, because, as I said earlier, this fellow uses up a lot of steam the way he throws punches. You know, his punches and his moves, they don't flow, they're a little bit laboured. So if Woods sets a fair old pace, this fellow should run out of steam before Woods does, and as long as he has the strength to take over, exactly the same way he did with Crawford Ashley.
Success there for Clinton Woods. Lewis has had only 2 weeks' notice. And Woods was meant to be boxing Melissi Koza, who is a tall South African. So he's got a different style of opponent in front of him. We watched one tape of Lennox Lewis, and that was a knockout. And Lewis gets through with a left hand. He's got some power. The tape he had, Lewis's victim, was on the floor for 20 minutes.
Well, one thing about Lewis, he's gone into the 10th round 3 times and scored a knockout in the 10th round, so Philip certainly has some strength.
Welcome back to Sheffield. Clinton Woods with Howard Rainey giving him the instructions in the corner.
Again, the cleaner boxing coming from Woods. Lennox Lewis showed a little bit more adventure in that round, tried a few things out. But usually Clinton had the last word in the exchanges, as he has in this one here.
4th round of the 2nd Commonwealth light heavyweight title defence by Sheffield's Clinton Woods. Was a dark horse. Woods came up through the 6-2s route, won the super middleweight title over Mark Baker. Now up at light heavy, and he's facing an interesting opponent in Trinidad's Lennox Lewis in the purple and gold. Calls himself Cub. The corner call him Lightning.
Well, he started like a hurricane again at the beginning of the round. He's done that every round. So Woods just really wants to cover up for the first 20 seconds or so, let him have his blast. Then he settles down. That's happened in the 3 previous rounds. Doesn't sustain that kind of pace.
What do you think of Lewis as a boxer?
No, I don't think he's going to do anything clever. I think he's fairly powerful. He hasn't had the chance to show that power yet. His boxing is disjointed. He tends to swing a little bit, but he's physically strong. He certainly carries a little bit of power. But I would say Woods has to think about the second half of the fight, because I think his condition is going to be crucial here. I think he's going to last the pace because of his style better than Lewis.
He was saying earlier he thought it would go a few rounds, but he's landing telling blows to Lennox Lewis. Seemingly stronger than Lewis is hitting him.
Beloved Woods winning 2 out of the 3 rounds with 1 level at the moment, but he hasn't skated any of the rounds. You know, he hasn't imposed himself yet, which is okay. Things are okay at the moment. But I'd like to see, as soon as he can, start pushing this fellow back. When you're boxing a fellow who wants to swing punches at you, they have to be coming forward to be effective, so push him back.
This is what he's trying to do now. The round that he fell apart against Sam Louis last time. You impressed with the way he's keeping his left hand up more?
Yeah, definitely. His defence has been sound. Just as I speak, he takes a jab bang on the nose. But no, his concentration is good, his defence is good. But we can see signs again, this fellow is very strong. He doesn't sustain these attacks, but they're strong when they come. And the accurate punches again coming from Woods.
It's a right hand clipping Lewis's head there. Woods controlling the centre of the ring. Only started boxing 4 years ago, Lennox Lewis was a kickboxer before that. He's still in there with Woods. And this is better from the Sheffield man.
Special event on Sky Digital next week. De La Hoya Trinidad for the World Welterweight title. Sheffield's own Johnny Nelson against Sione Asipelli for the WBO World Cruiserweight title. And we also have Vasily Zhirov against Dale Brown for the IBF World Cruiserweight crown next Saturday from midnight, Sky Sports Extra. Back to Jim and Adam.
5th round then. Clinton Woods from Sheffield, Lennox Lewis from Trinidad and Tobago. The 25th contest for Clinton Woods. He's won 23, only lost 1. Narrowly to David Starry on points at super middleweight. But he was starved at the weight. Up at light heavy, he's won British, European and Commonwealth crowns, and the Commonwealth is being defended tonight against the unknown Lennox Lewis. But we've seen a bit more of him than we knew before. How would you assess him now, Jim?
I would say don't expect anything subtle or clever, but just be very careful because we haven't seen his power, but his punches look powerful. Woods has managed to smother most of them. He hasn't taken too many clean on the chin, but the guy certainly looks powerful.
He's cut Clinton Woods above the left eye from that burst from Lewis. He smiled Woods, but 1 or 2 of those got through. And he just dabbed away a little bit at it. I don't know how bad it is. We'll try and get a closer look. Looking to get back behind his jab, Woods. Again, Lewis fighting in bursts.
Lewis is actually trying to counter-punch here. He's leaning back on his back foot, trying to draw Woods in to catch him the swings as he comes in. It's not all that easy to catch cleanly in Lewis. You know, he keeps his head moving. He's got a little bit of technique. He's a little bit crude at times, but he certainly has a bit of technique.
The fact that he's cut on the left eye, what does that say? Big right hand from Lewis, and he's keeping his glove too low again?
Well, I mean, it's a rough game, Adam. You're going to take punches. You can't look for it every time. You got a bleeding nose, you got a cut eye, you've done something wrong. I mean, the business is about giving and taking punches, and this is a good fight. Good punches exchanged by both guys.
As he did come back well against Sam Louis, Woods. Let's not forget that. A good learning fight. Punches flying again. Pretty rugged, this Lewis.
Some solid punches from Lewis in this round. His punches so far have been a better quality. And Woods just has to get his concentration back again. This is a little charge, obviously boxing away from home. Lewis's corner have said, come on, you'll have to pick up. You're not doing enough to win these rounds away from home.
Was a right hand from Lennox Lewis that caused the cut on Clinton Woods' left eye. Got to be careful, but Lewis is wild. And when he's wild, Woods is picking him off.
Yeah, that's the time. He just has to think what he's doing. Don't be in too much of a hurry to impress. If he's not taking punches, then he's got plenty of time. But that was the toughest round for Woods so far, I would say.
Good fight, this. Clinton Woods with Howard Rainey in his corner. Howard Rainey, who took Colin McMillan to the world title, also trains Terry Dunstan. Let's have a look at this cut.
Yep, Lewis got some leverage into his shots there. You could see the strength in his work and the power in his punches. And got through Woods' defence several times. But Woods never seriously hurt, thankfully, but I would say that is the toughest round of the fight so far for Clinton Woods. No signs of alarm, no need to panic. That was a tough round. See, unorthodox swinging punches, so he has to come forward to be effective. If Woods can stop him in his tracks and push him back, there goes half of his arsenal.
Sixth round, the one that Clinton Woods stopped Sam Louis in for the first defence of his Commonwealth title at the Elephant and Castle. Can he do the same with this Lennox Lewis from Trinidad and Tobago? A couple of world champions come out of Trinidad, Claude Noel and Leslie Stewart. And become a couple of Commonwealth champions too, Percy Lewis and Leslie Stewart again, Commonwealth and world champion. Is this Lennox Lewis going to become another name to the list?
I'll tell you another little awkward thing, Adam, that a lot of people don't realise. Most fighters look into each other's eyes when they're boxing. Now and again you get an opponent who looks at your gloves, and believe it or not, it's a little bit disconcerting. And I think a lot of the time Lewis is looking at Woods' gloves. You can tell when a fighter's ready to make a move by his eyes, but it's awkward when you can't look the fellow straight in the eye because he's looking at your gloves. And I've noticed that a few times with Lennox Lewis here.
Again, Woods tries to pump out that jab.
Just a few signs of hesitancy in Woods' work at the moment. I don't know if his confidence is taking a slight dent with some of the big shots he took in the previous round, and he realises this is looking like a distance fight. You start to think distance, which is fair enough, but you don't want to drop the pace too much. This is more like it. The pace is okay as long as you're the one who's setting it. Don't let the other guy set it. This is better.
Right to the body there from Woods. Waiting for Lewis to drop that guard. Lewis stumbles back. He seems disorganised when he's on the back foot, Lennox Lewis.
See, that was a good old pro stuff there. Woods came forward with the punch. He didn't land too cleanly, but he used his body momentum just to push Lewis all the way back onto the ropes. If you miss with the punches and you're coming forward, you can bully the other guy and stop him throwing counters. That was good work.
Again, Lewis sits back, waiting to pounce.
Well, it's good news that Woods doesn't have pressure to contend with here. It's just that the sly counter punches that this fellow's trying to wind up. Lovely work.
This is good from Clinton Woods. A little mark by the right eye of Lewis. Maybe now is the territory that Woods is going into to wear down his man.
Lewis has a difficult style, and I think Woods is controlling it very well.
Let's find out how Nicky Piper, former Commonwealth light heavyweight champion, is seeing it.
Well, Adam, I think both of those fighters showed the first signs of tiredness during that round, especially Lennox Lewis. He's such a physically strong fighter. He's not a technically great puncher, but he's very, very strong. And Clinton Woods really needs to be careful about what he's doing for the next 2 or 3 rounds. He started to show signs of getting on top, and I feel if he sticks to his boxing and his good defence and just picks off Lennox Lewis, then I think you may see signs of the first signs of Lennox Lewis falling apart.
Thank you very much, Nicky.
There's some lovely work in that round from Woods. He looked at the beginning of the round as though maybe his confidence had been dented slightly, but like all good fighters do, pulled himself together and look at the way he finished. That's where he actually bullied the fellow, pushed him on, used his strength. Lovely work there. Best work of the fight so far from Clinton Woods.
Round 7.
7th round then of Clinton Woods' Commonwealth light heavyweight title defence. The British and European crowns he owns are not on the line, just the Commonwealth against this peculiar Lennox Lewis in the purple and gold, who's come over from Trinidad and Tobago. 3 rounds up, you've got him, Jim.
Yep, and I think that's, I mean, some of the early rounds were fairly tight, but I gave Lewis a share of the second, but Woods always that little bit sharper all the way around most of the time.
Lennox Lewis only turned pro in June '96. Clinton Woods has been boxing for years and years. He drifted away from the sport. Had many, many problems outside the ring. A letter from his mum told him to get his life sorted out, and he's become a real talent now. Mum at home doesn't know what's happening, won't watch. Father Keith at ringside, as always, with the rest of his family.
Woods' left hand really working a treat now. See, Lewis is still trying to wind up counter punches. I would like to see Woods maybe show him a little feint, you know, draw the counter from him, then go to work with his own punches, because his big wild swings, Woods shows him that little feint, lets the punch come, then he can really punish him for any mistake he makes.
Still throwing leather though, Lennox Lewis, left hand there.
And that one just missed his whisker there. That could have been dangerous. That was a vicious looking left hook. It just seemed to glide by Woods' chin.
Whatever we say about this fella, he has not come to lie down, anything but.
Well, he talked as though he fancied the job before the fight, and he's backed that up with action.
His manager, Milton Keith, at ringside, urging Lewis on. John Keane just having a word with him. Woods getting back to the sharper work. But he's breathing a bit heavier now, Clinton Woods.
Yeah, they both are, and you can see Lewis's arms going round behind Woods in the last clinch. That's a sign that they don't have the strength to punch. They just want to cling on till the referee breaks them up. But this really has been a pace. It's been real good action. This is a top quality championship fight.
Yes, it is a good bout for the Commonwealth light heavyweight crown. Clinton Woods waiting to see what happens with his European title. Joe Silvangi might be his next opponent, but he's got to get through this one. Clubbing right to the head of Lewis.
This has been a little feint, force him into making a mistake, show him a little feint because his defences have gone anyway.
31-year-old Lennox Lewis from Trinidad is still in there after 7 rounds. Could be dangerous still for Clinton Woods.
Yeah, he's going to be dangerous in little spurts. He was pulling in great gulps of oxygen in between rounds there. He is feeling the pace. But still, that was the left hook. Actually, the hook, the punch did land. I thought it just flashed by Woods' chin, so he did well taking that shot. We know he's got a good chin, but danger in spurts from this guy still.
8th round, and the round that Clinton Woods predicted he would stop Lennox Lewis. The one he stopped Crawford Ashley in. Can he make it another great 8 tonight? Woods in the black and red, Lewis in the purple and gold. The shorter, more squat fighter, the strange style who crouches low and keeps his gloves up. Woods trying to make use of his reach to force Lewis back. But a head on the card, surely, Jim.
Definitely a head on my card. His work has always been a higher quality. This fella's work is dangerous, but he hasn't had the accuracy, he hasn't enjoyed the accuracy that Woods has. Woods has been setting the pace, defence sound, blocking a lot of Lewis's punches on his arms.
Clinton Woods has stopped his last 4 opponents, but he hasn't floored them, so one could question his power at the highest level, and this is getting into the highest level because this is the Commonwealth belt.
There are signs, Adam, this fella's got a tremendous chin, and he hasn't even been shaken. He's taken some good stiff shots from Woods. I know it's not a devastating puncher, but he hasn't even been shaken.
No, he's never been stopped or floored, this Lewis. So he says. Difficult to keep up with the stats from Trinidad and Tobago. But he's come over here to fight and to win this title.
That was Lewis leaning back again, trying to draw the lead. That was just a time to show a little feint and draw the counter. Still, we can't fault Woods, he's boxing so well. If he could just start pushing this fellow back.
Seemed to hurt Lewis there. Draw of breath from the man from Trinidad and Tobago. The West Indies, where Brian Lara and Dwight York are from. Can Lewis emulate their success over here? Lovely left-right combination from Woods. He's stepping up the pace a bit. Rights to the body. And Lennox Lewis looks disorganised. But then he comes back. That's the danger.
Yep, this fellow's here to mean business. No question about that. He was talking big before the fight, but he's certainly backing it up.
This is a really good battle. And terrific experience for Clinton Woods in front of his home fans here in Sheffield. They've seen good action tonight. Little mark on his cheek as well, Woods. Good rounds. There's Clinton Woods' dad, Keith, wiping himself down at ringside, and girlfriend, Natalia. They must be happy he's winning, but he's not got through it yet.
No, this is a tough night. It's going to continue to be tough. This fellow is, when he gets himself coming forward, when Woods can back him up, he has things most his own way. But the fellow's so strong and still ambitious.
Ninth round. Lennox Lewis stands in his corner, a little bit reluctant to come out. Clinton Woods goes back to work behind the jab. Defending his Commonwealth crown for the second time, Woods. But for the first time in front of his Sheffield fans. That's how you've got it 2/3 of the way through 5 rounds.
Yep, some of the early rounds are fairly close, but I always felt that Woods' work was just that little bit sharper. And he's working more constantly, if you like, than Lewis. Lewis working in little spurts, dangerous, you know, but when he's coming forward, but doesn't sustain it.
A little bit of tape loose on Lennox Lewis's left glove, which trainer Fitzroy Richards goes to have a look at. Richards, who coached in Philadelphia under the late Sam Solomon, who was in Leon Spinks's corner, the second Muhammad Ali fight in '78. He's worked with Michael Ayers, and he's worked with this man, Lennox Lewis. Clinton Woods waits patiently. Not easy times, Jim.
No, but it's fairly early in the round, which is good. He'd be more upset if Woods had got himself into a rhythm.
Do we have the first signs of Lennox Lewis tiring?
We've had a few signs of tiredness, Adam, but he's got tremendous natural strength, and sometimes that sees you through when maybe your stamina is wilting a little bit, your natural strength, and that's what he seems to be training on now. He bursts into action maybe for 15 seconds at a time, doesn't sustain it. So Woods just wants to keep drilling out the jab, drill out the punches.
It's for a fighter who didn't start till 1995 and only had 35 amateur bouts. Lennox Lewis is better than we all thought he would be. Surprised you, Jim?
Yeah, well, I didn't quite know what to expect, so when you don't know that, I hadn't made my mind up, so I'm not really surprised. He only lost the one fight. The fact that he'd been into the 10th round a couple of times, the fact that he stopped somebody in the 10th round, I said, well, there could be a little bit of danger here. But yeah, he's maybe a little bit better than I expected.
Yes, that was Luis Andres Pineda of Bolivia in the Port of Spain, won in that WBA Latin American Cruiserweight title, but he says he hasn't got a lot of work at light heavies because there's no one at that weight to fight over in the West Indies. So he's taken this at light heavy and he's giving a very, very good show. As Clinton Woods gets back to what he knows best. And that is the solid basic skills, the stiff jab.
Now that Lewis's head movement has slowed down a little bit, I'd like to see Woods get the jab pumping out now, put some power behind it. Earlier in the fight, his head was all over the place, he was bobbing and weaving and swaying. Now a bit more stationary, so I think Woods could really nail him with that long, straight jab. Just step in now.
Yes, Lewis looks like he's struggling a little now in the 9th round. Clinton Woods, of course, been the distance before. Two fighters that have given their all. Clinton Woods on the left of your screen, Lennox Lewis on the right. But much more success for Clinton Woods, especially to the head. 164 punches landed to 92 from Lewis. Tells the story, Woods is winning the fight.
1 second.
Tenth round. Commonwealth light heavyweight title on the line. Clinton Woods the champion, Lennox Lewis the challenger. Can Woods break up his man, or will he have to go the distance like he did with Mark Baker, narrowly winning the Commonwealth super middleweight title and losing to David Starry over 12. Jim, you've got him 6 ahead.
That was a beautiful right-hand punch. You saw the effects of that right down to Lewis's ankles. And that again proves how tough this guy is. That was a beauty. Lewis walked right onto it. Perfect little short right hand.
And Lewis comes back.
Yep, just proving how tough he is. I mean, that punch would have decked most people. That was a beauty.
Yes, it looked like his legs had gone slightly, Lennox Lewis, but he came back with that cluster. And he is trying everything he knows how, having had only 10 fight experience to Clinton Woods' 24.
Lewis looking so weary now. He's arm weary, gulping in big gulps of oxygen.
It's been a tremendous effort from Lennox Lewis, who had never seen anything of Clinton Woods and arrived just a few days ago. But Woods has stuck to the job professionally, and he seems finally to be wearing down his man.
And Woods is still not making any silly mistakes. Defences are sound. He hasn't been carrying his chin as high as I've seen him in some fights in the past. Improving with every performance, this fellow.
Lovely combination from Clinton Woods. Applause from his corner. Howard Rainey, Dennis Hobson, even Ivor de Lima from Denmark is over in Clinton Woods' corner tonight. He's left Ole Clemenson's camp to come and work with Woods because he thinks Woods could be something special. A learning process. Woods is taking his time, as he should be, surely, Jim.
Putting on a little bit of an exhibition now. Hooks, jabs, uppercuts. This is exhibition stuff now from Woods. Still thinking what he's doing, still the concentration good, the defence good. He's beginning to put a little show on, actually enjoying himself now. Excellent.
Rights and lefts coming in from Clinton Woods, and John Keane has waved it off, and that was a very, very professional job by Clinton Woods. Look how excited his family are at ringside. Lennox Lewis was tough, he was good, but Clinton Woods took care of the job as best as he could have done in the circumstances, wins quite clearly and stops his man in the 10th round. Father Keith delighted, the Sheffield crowd extremely happy, and Clinton Woods marches on.
Well, I think the referee must have agreed with us, Adam, that Woods was so far in front, and suddenly Lewis started taking punches without reply, and there was no way he was going to get back into the fight. He had shot his bolt, he was looking tired, looking weary, so the referee picked the right spot, and Woods thankfully had just produced his best work of the night just as the stoppage came, just to force the stoppage.
Girlfriend Natalia so happy, and that's Kyle Barton, a 6-year-old kid in there with Clinton Woods, who has lost his limb through meningitis, and Clinton is his hero. And look how happy they are together. Brave, brave boy, and a brave, brave fighter, Clinton Woods. And not taking anything away from Lennox Lewis, he was better than we all expected. A good fight and a good win for Clinton Woods.
Yeah, well, suddenly Woods started to enjoy himself, just moved into a different gear that Lewis could not compete with. Just total quality, putting punches together, the cheeky little uppercuts, the hooks, but still looking right at his opponent, making sure nothing was coming back his way to cause any danger. A lovely finish to a lovely performance.
A well-timed stoppage?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Lewis had really finally gone right out of the fight. There was no way he was going to get back into this fight. You can see he's all over the place. Defences are scattered, mile behind in points. Woods producing his best work. The referee couldn't have timed it any better. I mean, look at Lewis here, just doesn't quite know what to do.
Clinton Woods putting the finishing touches on a very good display and remains Commonwealth light heavyweight champion. He has the 3 crowns. Maybe he'll need a little time before he goes for a world title, but he's doing the right things. And look at Keith, look how happy he is. And Mum Andrea at home will be a relieved lady and a mother tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes and 29 seconds of the 10th round. Referee John Keane has stopped the contest with Lewis in no position to continue. Your winner, and still the light heavyweight champion of the Commonwealth from the still city of Sheffield, Clinton Woods. And to present the championship helmet for Royal Supervisor, Dennis Lawson.
This is becoming quite a success story here in Sheffield. Not Nassim Ahmed this time, not Harold Graham, not Johnny Nelson, but Clinton Woods. And with every successful defence of that Commonwealth belt added to his European and British titles, don't forget, this is a man who is climbing to the top of the world rankings. I wonder if that might be in his mind up the road somewhere. But it's a night for us to reflect on another very solid professional job. He's with Adam Smith.
Clinton, well done. A fantastic display tonight. You didn't know anything about this Lennox Lewis. He was quite a tough customer, wasn't he?
Very, very tough. I've seen a video with him. It was, I knew we were tough. I knew I'll probably wear him down around 6, 7 rounds. Obviously went to 10. But I've got a lot of courage in me. I'll just keep on going. I did it in front of my own fans, Sheffield. What a fantastic support I've had. Thank you very much.
He looked dangerous in bursts, Lewis. How strong was he?
It was strong, very strong. It never ever hurt me. Even with some good shots, but it never ever hurt me. I've got the lion of a heart, and a little lad here who's got as much courage as me, if not more, recovering from meningitis. He's the one who spurred me on tonight.
This is Carl Barton, the little 6-year-old here. Hi, Carl. Well done. You're obviously happy for him. Fantastic. Clinton, where do you go from here? I mean, another Commonwealth defence, or Joe Silavangi for the European. Take your time now, or? Well,
I've got to go back and I've got to go back to a bit of drawing board. I've got a few things what I weren't using tonight. I weren't using my jab. But like I say, I feel more comfortable when I go forward. I seem to have been going every time I go forward. But I've got to keep to my jab. I think I'm neglecting it a bit. So a couple more fights, and then I'm going for that world title.
Here's your dad, Keith, at ringside too.
Wasn't he a tough customer, that kid, eh? I don't know how he caught him. I don't know, he were down, up and down all the time. I thought he were brilliant, that kid.
You look pretty happy at the end.
I am very happy now, and his girlfriend, I am happy, yeah.
What about Mum at home?
Oh, I've just phoned her up. She can go to bed now. She's all right now. She'll be roaring. She'll be crying,
Clinton Woods, in front of your home fans, well done tonight.
Yeah. Well done. Thank you very much, Sheffield.
Maybe that's the secret to this improvement in his overall performances in the last year and a half. Woods very self-critical, always back to the drawing board looking for fresh improvement. Thoughts of Nicky Piper when we come back. Home or away, the Clinton Woods story gets better and better tonight in front of his hometown crowd in Sheffield. He has retained his Commonwealth light heavyweight title, a 10th round stoppage of the game, Lennox Lewis from Trinidad and Tobago. Well, he's a worthy holder of the title and a former holder of this Commonwealth belt. Watched it with us, Nicky Piper. Thoughts overall on the display, Nicky?
I thought it was a very, very good display. He's nothing flash, is he, Clinton Woods, but he is very, very solid. And he had an opponent tonight who, if we're brutally honest, was technically very limited, but so strong. And he had to be careful all the time, concentrating. You can see here, the 10th round, that's just when Larry O'Connell jumps in there. And I thought it was a little bit premature at the time.
John King,
sorry, and John King. At the time I thought it was premature, but when you look at it here in replay, Clinton Woods was all over the guy, and was it worth letting him risk injury for Lennox Lewis when he was so far behind on the scorecards anyway? There's the dad Keith jumping for joy.
Just seemed to up the gas in the 9th and 10th rounds, the winner.
He did. He sensed that Lewis was tiring badly and had nothing left anymore to worry Clinton Woods, so therefore he opened up.
You're the Mensa man, you sort this lot out for us.
Well, first of all, you can clearly see that Woods not only had the higher success rate, but he threw more punches, which more or less doubles the punches landed for Clinton Woods. He was very economical with his work tonight, covered up and threw a lot. Landed not many body shots, but to the head shots, you can see there, 2.5 times as many punches for Clinton Woods. I think he's improving with every fight. His fitness is great. He's proved that now. He's been into the late rounds of many fights lately and looked very, very good.
When you are on a winning run, as he now is, does that give you the belief in what you're doing so that you can dictate the terms in a fight, and when the opportunity comes, as it did tonight in rounds 9 and 10, you can then decide, right, now I'm going to finish it?
Well,
is that what happened?
I think so, and but his fitness is so impressive that he really had to be careful all night here against Lennox Lewis, and then eventually in round 9s and 10 he realised Lewis had nothing left, and he was able to open up, risk injury to himself, and just let go with the punches, which is what he did, and eventually turned it on.
Will Lewis, well though he's fought tonight, do you think accept, well, the referee got me out at the right moment, or do you think he'll go away from here feeling slightly aggrieved?
Well, all fighters are very brave, aren't they? And he probably will want every chance possible, and maybe he may feel he was denied a final chance. But you can see Clinton Woods is piling on the pressure, and probably a timely intervention is looking at there. When you look at the referee's scorecard, you'll probably find that Clinton Woods was many rounds ahead, and there's no way Lewis was going to win. European title defence is on the line and being discussed at the moment against Joe Siluvangi. Is that a much tougher fight for Woods? A much tougher fight. It looks like it's going to be in France, which is going to be very awkward indeed. And I think that he beat Crawford Ashley for the 3 titles, Clinton Woods, and that was a great performance on paper. I think Crawford was going downhill. He's beaten Lennox Lewis tonight, and the New Zealander the last time. He's stepping up gradually in quality, and it'll be a big step for Siluvangi, a tough fight.
Jim Watt's had a moment or two to gather himself after his commentating efforts tonight. From where you sat, Jim, are you seeing this gradual improvement fight to fight in Clinton Woods?
Yeah, definitely. In the past, Clinton Woods has been described as awkward and unfashionable. I think that's a thing of the past. Tonight's performance was a real professional job. I can see improvements every time he comes out. Then you hear him in the post-fight interviews going back to the drawing board to improve again. Wonderful to hear that. He's a triple champion, and he's boxing like a triple champion. His next fight is a worrying fight when he faces Siluvangi, because he's not easily stopped. And when you're boxing abroad and you can't knock the other fellow out, we've seen what's happening in the past. But I'd be confident taking Clinton Woods anyway the way he's boxing at the moment.
You're never a man who likes to load it on fighters when they're on the way up, though, Jim, are you? Is he a potential world-class fighter?
Well, I'll put it this way, there are far worse fighters than Clinton Woods holding world championships at the moment. I think having a world title depends a lot on who's holding it at the time, where the fight is, how you are on the night, but he's certainly good enough to be challenging for a world championship, no question.
Thank you, Jim. So that one went with form tonight here in Sheffield. Earlier in our lightweight contest tonight, an upset and a big setback for Wayne Rigby, the former British champion, bidding to get all the way back to the top, but beaten on points by Alan Temple, who's had a very in-and-out career. A lot of talent, Temple. But tonight was the night when Temple finally delivered, and that has set Wayne Rigby's comeback right back. ahead in the next week. Plenty of good action. We're back on Monday night with a long-awaited rematch. Paul Burke against Eamon McGee for the Commonwealth light welterweight title. Monday evening at 8, Sky Sports 1. Join us for Ringside, the first in a new series, Wednesday evening at 8 on Sky Sports 1, featuring so many of boxing's biggest names: Lewis, Holyfield, Nassim Hamed, Bruno, De La Hoya and Trinidad, to name just a few. That's Ringside back Wednesday evening at 8. And next Saturday, we have Oscar De La Hoya, a very special Sky Digital event for you next week. 3 world title fights in all from Las Vegas, Saturday, September the 18th. The top of the bill, De La Hoya against Felix Trinidad, the welterweight unification match we've been waiting for. And also, Britain's Johnny Nelson in action in Las Vegas, defending his WBO World Cruiserweight title against Sione Azapelli, plus the IBF World Cruiserweight title, Vasily Zhirov against Dale Brown from the United States. It's all a special Sky Digital event with live coverage from Vegas. We start 12 midnight, September the 18th, and 2 Sunday showings at 9 a.m. and again 8:30 p.m., all on Sky Sports Extra, channel 404, a new service offering interactive football coverage, and it's free to all Sky Sports subscribers. A show not to miss.
Right now, Oscar De La Hoya has one thing on his mind: being the first to beat Felix Trinidad. It's not enough to be the undefeated welterweight champion, because Trinidad is too. They're 2 warriors in peak condition, on top of their game, at the height of their powers. Only one can stay on top, and this is the ultimate showdown. The fight neither one can lose. Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad, the fight of the millennium. To be the best, you've got to beat the best.
We hope to have the pleasure of your company. From Nicky Piper and myself, thank you for being with us tonight in Sheffield. Clinton Woods goes from strength to strength, and it's a story that could run and run. Bye for now.